the guitar scream. We're talking wrestling, living the dream. From Tokyo to London, across the globe, respecting the craft, we're in the know. No gimmicks or fakes, just pure passion and skill. The best talents from every wrestling hill. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respecting the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the crowd, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide.
And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 308, and I'm joined by, well, unfortunately, it is solely one half of the current reigning and defending TCW Tag Team Champions representing the Deadly Sins here. We got the returning Blockz. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on, man? I mean,
so
really,
again, I don't mean to be offensive when I say unfortunately. Only thing I have to say is it leads to what we're going to be discussing in a little bit. Because I feel like this is a situation where even to set this up, I had to speak with both of you in conversation. When usually it was a unison conversation. So we have a lot to discuss, man, because we are less than 2 weeks away. We are getting close to Savage Intentions. The Halloween Horror Night arrives in Titan Championship Wrestling. But before we get into any of that, before we get into all that conversation there, I just have to ask you, how you doing, man? Welcome back to the show here. I love to always get to sit down with you guys here. So how are you been? How's everything?
good. I mean, everything's been good. Definitely got a lot to discuss, but everything's been good. You know, just been out there getting the reps in, getting ready for this next show coming up in Hoboken, and you know, doing what we got to do to keep these titles around our waist and our shoulders.
Definitely. So, it brings me to now, unfortunately, have to, again, something I want to touch with you both, but let's get your take on this. Let's start talking there because we got the boss man himself, Billy, in the chat. What's going on, Billy? Hello. And there we go. Facebook finally works on this, so I can now show the Facebook comments. That's good to know. But I have to bring this up. Unfortunately, at the last event, at Guerrilla Warfare, from at least my vantage point, from the commentary desk, you might have heard some of my comments. You weren't too happy about my comments.
Oh, I heard you.
I had to start questioning certain things because we saw a little bit of dissension between you and Frankie Pickard.
You know, our last match, you know, against the Audacity definitely was a rough patch in the Deadly Sins. You know, there was a lot of miscommunication between myself and Frankie. We wasn't really on the same page during the match. I put that more towards, you know, we've been doing our thing for some reason separately as of late. He's been, you know, paying his mind to getting that world title, which, you know, I don't have an issue with that. The more gold to the Deadly Sins, the better. But, you know, I've been out doing my own thing. So, you know, we've been a few months, probably, I want to say 2 to 3 months, where we haven't really teamed the way we should have been. And, you know, it showed in the ring, but, you know, that's the past. And we're looking forward to Hoboken coming up and defending these titles against Social Influence again and showing everybody, you know, the Deadly Sins is fine. We're on the same page. Things happen.
Okay. So again, I want to be cordial. I don't want to ask anything and overstep, but it's a little hard to see that everything is fine when, again, we look at the last moments of Guerrilla Warfare when you guys face the Audacity and we see the accidental interaction of you hitting Frankie by accident that leads to then Frankie pushing you. And what possibly could have been, again, the tail signs of possibly you guys losing those championships if Social Influence didn't get involved, costing the Audacity their championship opportunity there.
Well, as far as what transpired in the ring, I absolutely accidentally, hit Frankie during the match.
Yeah, I saw that again. It was an accident. We all saw that. I feel like the Titan Nation can agree it wasn't on your part of trying to do that purposely. I would hope.
No, absolutely not. We was getting ready for our finisher to end the match, so
Yep.
it was towards where we was getting to wrap things up, take the Audacity out, and it happened to be that one of the members of the Audacity pushed me into Frankie. As of late, Frankie's been having a lot of issues trusting folks, and even though he knows that I'm his right hand and he doesn't have to ever worry about trusting me, but somebody hits you from behind and you turn around, it's somebody you think is your brother, and what's going on. So I'll chalk it up to his anger and confusion got the best of him. Maybe he thought that I was trying to do something that I wasn't, but at the end the social influence came in and they interrupted the match, even though we was going to win that match anyway. But social influence came in, they interrupted the match, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean, Frankie during Ken's match, Frankie interfered in the beginning. No clue why. I'm still trying to get that.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping again for Frankie to be here, because I would love to ask about that, because again, you guys had a huge semi-main event matchup. You guys were getting ready to defend those titles against the Audacity, who, again, no offense to you guys, looked like a very unison tag team. This is one of those where I said it felt like we're moments away at any point of seeing new tag team champions, because the Audacity had what looked like that advantage point. But when it comes to attacking Ken, it's like, why stir up that trouble when you guys had a whole different target that night?
And I absolutely agree with you there. And to put into perspective that time and time again we've been counted out. I mean, we're currently the longest reigning tag team champions in TCW history.
Congratulations again on that.
Appreciate that. And we just reached 278 days today as tag team champs, and we've been doubted throughout our whole title run that we were going to lose it. We're not cohesive, we're not a unit, we're not together. But at the end of the day, we've been dominating the division for a whole year almost, and we've shown why we are the legit tag team that we are, whether we having miscommunications or not. One thing that you got to put in front of everybody else is that myself and Frankie Pickard are two of the top guys in Titan. So no matter what goes on between us, we're gonna get the job done. We like gold around our waist. Brothers fight. Brothers, tend to not be on the same page at times, but when it comes down to the end and these gold is on the line, that's what we do. We overcome all the noise that's out there, and we keep showing up and showing why we are the longest reigning tag team champions. We keep showing why we are the tag team to beat in Titan. We keep showing why we are the face of this division. And, things happen. And I'm pretty sure that come Hoboken, once you speak with Frankie and he jumps on here, which he eventually will, we'll show why we're going to continue to hold these titles and be tag team champions for the foreseeable future.
Understood. No, again, like I said, I have seen time and time again when you guys have faced many a tag team. I've called a few of those championship defenses, and it's one of those where, again, the actions speak louder than words. We see it in the ring. We've seen time and time again where you guys have been successful, even defeating the team you guys are going to be facing at Savage Intentions, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But it does now pain me to ask this, because like you said, yes, brothers do fight. It happens in the best of families. It happens everywhere. I have to ask, in your absence, however, there has been a lot of situations that have been happening in the Deadly Sins. I said it on commentary, and I think that was one of the things that caused you to even, again, react toward my comments. The Deadly Sins at one point was running roughshod at Titan, but I'm not just saying as the duo, I'm saying as the faction. And unfortunately, it looks like you guys are now merely a team. We have gone down from the family being 5 or more members, and we're down to 2.
So when it comes to that, you're absolutely correct. I mean, for the past year, the Deadly Sins were pretty much running Titan in whichever way we wanted when we were together as the 5 of us when we were together. But some people aren't cut out for this, and my Frankie Pickard and myself spoke from the beginning about when we decided to do this, that only the tough and strong survive, and that includes any member of the Deadly Sins. So if you look at the past year, not knocking any other member that was a part of the Deadly Sins, which everyone did their part when they were in it, but at a certain point, they've came to a crossroad where they had to make a decision, and the decision they decided to make wasn't that of benefiting the Deadly Sins. So myself and Frankie Pickard had to come together and make some tough decisions. And when you look back over the year of the Deadly Sins at Titan, the forefront of the Deadly Sins is myself and Frankie Pickard. I mean, we handled all the business that was thrown at us. We handled everything. And if it takes for it to be myself and Frankie Pickard to continue this message, then that's what we're going to do. I have all the faith that we're the Deadly Sins, meaning myself and Frankie Pickard, we're fine. Everything's good. He'll get on here. He'll say it for himself. There's just times where you have to sit back, reassess the situation, and pretty much decide, is this something to go against, or is this something to continue and build? And in this case, what me and Frankie are doing, I believe, in my heart at least, you would have to ask him, but I believe that we're going to continue to build and show why we are the tag team in Deadly Sins. We are the face of the Deadly Sins, and we are the face of Titan for the future.
Got you. No, understood. Definitely so. But that now brings me to this. So that means you do agree with the unfortunate scenario of taking out one Adam Ace from the Deadly Sins, one just, again, Daniel Riley getting taken out of the Deadly Sins here. So these things that you do agree with at this point.
So I'm a little mixed on the two names you just mentioned. So Daniel Riley, I mean, if you followed us with Daniel Riley, I could care less if he's a part of the Deadly Sins or not.
Well, that I feel like Daniel Riley was also on the fence. I spoke to him a few times on here. We had those conversations. So that one's understandable. I get that. But Adam Ace, though, who was, it felt like a very loyal soldier for the Deadly Sins.
So Adam Ace, that was a tough situation there because Adam Ace is one of my brothers. I still feel like, some way, somehow we could make amends and everything get back together. But as far as the decision that Frankie had made when he made it, I stand fully behind him. I mean, Adam Arsenal knew what he was getting into. And when Frankie stepped in there to help Adam Arsenal out, Adam Arsenal wanted no part of it. Now we're here to help each other get to that next level. So if Adam Arsenal would have let Frankie just help him out, he would be the heavyweight champ right now. But instead, he wanted to do it on his own, which is admirable. I understand that. But when you need the help, sometimes you got to take it. And, he refused to take it. And that's what happens. I mean, it's unfortunate. I tried to make amends between the both of them. It didn't happen. He wound up challenging me out of all people. And I showed at Seaside Heights why when you challenged Blockz and stepped in the ring with me one-on-one, I'm going to show you why I'm just going to be that much better than you. And we haven't seen Adam Arsenal since then.
Understood. Again, I have to ask because these are things that, again, we've heard from Frankie. We saw what he did. We were there at the carnival event where we saw, again, the actions of Frankie Pickard, but unfortunately you were not there. So I wanted to know, is this a situation that you agreed on? Is this something of Frankie on his own? But it is perfect timing because long behold, joining us here, none other than the other half of those TCW Tag Team Champions, Frankie Pickard. Good evening, Frankie. How's it going, brother?
No, man, don't know much. Just a pair of training students, teaching students, the best way, the right way, how to, to join in professional wrestling.
Gotcha. So, Frankie, again, I have to ask you, brother. We have to ask the hard-hitting questions here. I've been asking Blockz about this. What's going on between you two, man? Like, even this scenario of I had to message you, I had to message Blockz in order to even make this happen today.
Listen,
so what's going on here, brother?
I understand. I have a chip on my shoulder. I get it. I know I can admit when I'm wrong in certain things, and I admit when I'm wrong. And for me, like, Blockz is my brother, and he's family. And for me to do what I did was like, I blacked out. And, even though I try to reach out to you, bro, and I understand that you didn't want to talk right now, because of certain feelings, it was, and I want to do this out in public is I apologize. I'm damn sorry for what I did. I blacked out. This is something that you know me, bro. You know I wouldn't do that.
Absolutely. And there's no reason to apologize. Like I told Raven before you got on, things happen. It was the heat of the moment. You know, stuff happens, but we brothers, and you're gonna get everything. You're gonna defend the title, show why we are the greatest tag team.
It's good. So the only problem is like this. Like we family, and you understand this. And the only thing I'm trying to figure out is like you don't have to threaten me too either. I understand what I did was wrong. I own to it. You know, me putting my hands on you, yeah, that's something I should never did. But you should never like threaten me. And you know how I am. I don't
I
like threats.
I agree, and you're right about that. I was hot headed. I was, where mindset that, and why would you put hands on me when I tried to? It was an accident. It wasn't on me, but in the heat of the moment, and then traveling, you know, back home and that drive home, trying to figure out what happened and why did that match go the way it did. It baffled me, and it kept me to keep my distance. And then I spoke when I shouldn't have, out of anger. And you're right, I did threaten you, and for that I want to apologize as my tag team partner, my brother. I feel like this is something that we're gonna get through and everything will be fine. But
Right.
my only question that I do have still is, what was the why attack TKO?
I also want to know that. I also want to get
So
to.
behind closed doors, because we basically we basically ran amok over, social influence and you know just from like the ears behind closed doors is like, oh, they're gonna give them another chance. We done destroyed them from like 6 ways of Sunday. And I'm really trying to figure out is like, why still give them another chance? There's plenty of tag team out there in the world that we can go against. And yet and still social influence, you know, we already did the demonstration. I know Samara probably almost felt that situation. It's like there's no more. There's no more. Stand in the back of the welfare line like everybody else do, and wait your turn and let us run mockery over the tag team division. That's something that we should be doing.
And I agree with you. I think, you would have informed me before, rather than take it again upon yourself, a decision for the group. We've been doing this together as a unit, so these are things that we're gonna definitely have to hash out them again for 50th time, and we're gonna be 100th time. It just feels like something that I should have been filled in.
I know, but you had so much stuff that you was doing and everything else. I even try to reach out to you on certain things, and I know that you've been busy and stuff like that. And you know, I just want to because we want to send a message, so I wanted to send a message.
Okay?
And like I said before, like you busy, and I don't want to jump into people that's too busy and stuff. So I want to let you do you for a minute. You know what I mean?
Pardon my interruption here, Frankie, but does that mean he was too busy to find out about excommunicado Daniel Riley, excommunicado Adam Ace? I feel like these are things that, again, I'm not trying to overstep here, but things that you guys should have had a bit of a conversation about.
So I told everybody, okay? So let's take this way back, okay?
Okay.
So originally, it was supposed to be the original leader of the Daily Sins was supposed to be, you know, Castle.
Mhm.
Then Castle decided to, do whatever he wanted to do and everything else. And it kind of hurted me. Then certain people like, I mean, let's bring back the OGs, you know, um, the OGs of the original people that was there. You know, they wanted to do what they wanted to do. They wanted to make a name for themselves. And then they just wanted to spit on the deadly sins and walk away and treat us like we was nobody and stuff. And the craziest part is like we tried to warn them about people getting into people's heads. You know that. You know how that is, Blocks.
Absolutely.
It
I
was
mean,
like this. And then every time, and then when they find out the real truth and stuff, we get the blame for it. Why? Why do we get the blame for it when we trying to tell them the truth? But then all of a sudden now I have to step up and become the leader of the deadly sins. And I had to do what I had to do was necessary to keep the deadly sins strong. And if you're the weakest link, I gotta take you out. There's certain people, Adam. How many times I done told Adam, it don't have to be just one place. We can go anywhere. And Adam's like, oh, I'm all for it. And then all of a sudden, Adam don't show. He's a no-show. Or Daniel Riley. I am not a part of the deadly sins. I am not right there. Bro, you turned on your brother. So obviously you wanted to be a part of the deadly sins, but you was so much of a, I'm sorry to say, excuse my French, of a bitch to actually break through the fourth wall. And you didn't want to get the job done. You didn't want to do what's necessary to make the strengthen the sins. So I had to do what I had to do between Daniel Riley. I had to do what had to do between Adam Ace.
Okay. Again, I'm just asking the questions here that the people want to know. The Titan Nation have been wondering situations that have been occurring. Again, I'm just
And
doing my
and for
journalistic
crying
approach.
out loud, if the Titan Nation wants to know, they need to mind their damn business
pretty much.
because it has nothing to do with them. They don't pay. They don't put food on the table. They don't put clothes on my back. Titan Nations don't do nothing for me. Only thing they do is give me money, a couple of dollars for my wallet to make it look nice.
Understood. But again, just doing my job here. This is why
Like I
I
told you,
bring the journalistic approach to this. My apologies.
like I told you before, Ray, you know, I agree with everything that Frankie did because at the end of the day, me and Frankie set out a long journey with this. And even though I didn't agree at the time, I know it was done for a reason. So the only issue that I had with all of that was being left in the dark. Being away, coming back to find out, being left in the dark. But decisions had to be made. Decisions have been being made since the Deli Sin started. There's been one goal that we've had, and that was to take over Titan. And as you can tell, there's two of us left because other people here, other people couldn't step up, other people had other agendas that wasn't a part of the Deadly Sins agenda. And when that happens, you got to make tough decisions. You know, I wish I could have those decisions to make, but
I get it. I get it. And which that was my fault on my end.
all right.
But I you know, like I said, it's like at the time, too many people that was part of the family decided to um say they're part of the family, then find out behind closed door that they're not part of the family. They willing to jump ship or they willing to do whatever they need to be. But I have no problem with you, Blocks. Blocks, you're like my brother. You know, you've been there since day one. You stepped up when somebody left out. You went to North Carolina, and oh my God, we killed it. You know how many people said that we was the match of the night? We was one of the matches that was match of the night, and that was pretty big.
Absolutely.
You know how many times that me and you did a lot of stuff together and everything? It was great. I just felt as though that every time that I needed you, you was always busy. And it was like, and it's not, and granted, I know that you have a life. I know that you have a family, and I'm not going to disrespect any of that. I know that you had to do what you had to do, so I can't knock that. And that was the reason why is like the reason why I really didn't say nothing because I know that you need to handle your business. And you're my brother. And I wanted to let you handle your business. I mean, God, for crying out loud, you're greed. You're all about money. You
No,
hungry right along with me. And I get it. My pride do tends to get in my way. But this is how I've been born and raised. My pride. Ever since my dad abused me. Ever since everything else from friends and family done took advantage of me and abused my feelings. But I can't even say I never thought that would come from you because you never did that. You was there. I know that's the reason why I never said anything to you because when I did reach out, you was busy. You've been busy. I called, hey, Blockz, this is Blockz. Voicemail, you can leave me a message and everything else. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know he's busy. I'm going to leave that alone because I care, bro.
absolutely, and I agree. I have been busy out here trying to make that money and make that money for the group and benefit us with the sponsors and everything else that we got lined up with going on, and that was my fault, and that was on me to not answer those calls. But what I will say is we have a match coming up against Social Influence. I need to know, just like I'm sure Raymond wanted a question, are we good? Are we?
Bro, I told you before, we're deadly sins. You know, ever since the original OGs done separated, we're the only two left,
Yes, sir.
and we're family. You're my brother, and in a time of need, you was there for me when I got jumped by social influence, and I'm always going to be there for you
That
because I love you, bro.
you my dog, bro. Love you too.
That's right.
Raymond, you heard it here first. Everything is good. We fine.
Okay. Again, it is good to hear. It is good to hear certain things. I want to go to the comments before I ask this next question because this might question how good you guys are. But Marlon, no, I'm not stirring the pot. I'm just asking the questions that the Titan Nation wants to hear. That is all. This is what I do here. This is as a member of the Titan Nation, as a member of the TCW commentary team, I have to bring the journalistic approach. Sometimes it's asking the questions that some people might be a little too afraid to ask
But
here.
that's why I respect you, bro, because you always bring the hard hitting questions, and I love that because
Yep.
most podcasts don't do the hard hitting questions. Most podcasts would be like, "Man, I love your work. I do this, that, and the third," and they be giving you the pat on the back. But you is a different breed. You examine. You take parts of everything that you see. Your eyes is open. You know if something ain't right. So you don't hesitate. You don't be around the bush. You don't be afraid. You want to tell you like that because you want to know 100% what it's all about.
Again, it's wanting to get to the bottom of this. It's wanting to ask those things because, again, this is what I bring here to the table. This is what I'm bringing to the commentary desk because I want to inform the Titan Nation. But before we get into that as well, we have some comments here from one Casey Lycan who is saying, Blockz, hear me out. It's only a matter of time before he does what he did to my brother, to Jay, to Ben, Adam Ace, to you. So your thoughts, Blockz, on
Let me take that one real quick,
yeah,
Frankie. I'll let you handle that. First and foremost, Ray, like Frankie said, you ask the tough questions, you get down to the nitty gritty, and that's why we respect you, and that's why we both agreed, whether it was separate, together, we agreed to come on this platform and air out what's going on. So you heard it from our mouths here first. We're good. We're gonna go with Hoboken. We're gonna defend these titles. Go celebrate after, like we always do, and keep it pushing. But as far as that comment by Casey, Casey's been a thorn on the side of our hip for about 8 months to 9 months now, and I don't understand that we've taken his brother from him. We showed him his true brother's colors, that he doesn't want to believe all of a sudden now that, it's not true and that him and his brother are okay. All right, your brother tried to take you out. That's, to me, you're never going to be okay after that one. That's one. Two, you want to talk about Jay Akira, Ben Castle, Adam Arsenal, all the members of the Deadly Sins. Let's throw Deanna Diaz in there. Let's throw Just Saying in there. Let's talk about the members of the Deadly Sins that were there in the past. Now, there's love towards some still, there's hatred towards other. And the fact is, because we set out a goal, the Deadly Sins set out a goal in the beginning of this. And if you weren't up to the part to take fold in it, we stated it from the beginning. Either you're going to push up or you're going to get left behind. It's not our fault that we took the helm and we left everybody behind. As you can see lately, there's been rumbles from past Deadly Sin members. All of a sudden coming out of the woodworks out of nowhere now. Why? Because you want to rag on our coattails? Because you want to show the world that this was once yours? The fact is that the Deadly Sins made this our world. We have taken over the tag team division. Frankie Pickard in recent months has shown why, as a single competitor, he's one of the top guys in the business. I damn near showing you every single month that I'm one of the top guys in this business. And together, when we're together and on the same page, there's no stopping us. And yeah, as of late, there's been bumps in the road. We've just discussed that. But here on out, the bumps in the road stop. The train goes forward.
Let's just say this, all right? Like, the situation when the tag team belts, the Titan, let me rephrase that, the Titan tag team belts was anywhere. It wasn't on the map. It wasn't even on the radar. The Deadly Sins has put it on the radar. I mean, God, I done made sponsors after sponsors. I done made the TCW Tag Team Champion belt on the market. Is irrelevant. People know who the tag team champs is. I mean, for crying out loud, you have fans that come to see. You got one fan. I'm not going to toot nobody's horn right now, but you got one fan that comes out there that dressed just like Blockz. He wants to be like Blockz. You have fans that love what we do, what we're trying to put together, what we're trying to achieve. And yes, you're gonna have a lot of people that want to put roadblocks on the Deadly Sins. You got people that hates the Deadly Sins because how much we came up and how much fan base that we get or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter if I'm a bad guy or if I'm a good guy. I'm just going to tell it how it is. And same thing with Blockz. Blockz is going to tell it how it is either. So when we go up there to Savage attention, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Savage attention, and we're going against, of course, drumline, please. Social affluence for like the 1,000th time, which is not going to change much.
Ain't gonna beat us this.
There's nothing. People already know who's going to win. People already know that Titan Nation knows that the Deadly Sins. Oh man, why are we going against them again? We done beat them every 6 ways of Sunday. They already know who's going to win. Let's just put it out there.
That's not a prediction.
Oh, it's a spoiler. It's definitely a spoiler.
Again, we will see what happens. That is going to be less than 2 weeks away. Savage Intentions, the Deadly Sins defend against social influence. But again, there's a huge caveat in this one. Not only is it for those TCW tag team titles, but this truly is the last chance for social influence, because if they lose said challenge, they shall be forced to disband forever.
Hey, you want me to tell you the truth right there? You want me to bring some new flash to you right there? Here, let me tell you something. Ken Powers is way better than TKO.
I agree.
I mean, TKO is really holding Ken Powers back.
So
There's no
bad.
secret to that. Like, come on. It's right there. You know, the only reason why they're using Samara is because Samara has this huge, big social media buzz. Of course, they're going to use her. So it's like that right here. Like you talking about what's going on between me and Blockz is there some confusion, there's some havoc, some problems between the Daily Sins. If the Daily Sins are going to work as one, y'all should be talking about the real main question. What's going on between TKO and Ken Powers?
And not to add to what Frankie, the Deadly Sins, if you look at our track history, we're known for tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
Roxas and Moran was the Throne was the second. Live didn't get in the band, but we shipped them across the country.
Oh yeah.
I can't,
Hours.
the results are there. The results, again, I have to be unbiased. I'm a broadcaster, but unfortunately the results are there. I can't disagree here. I can't disagree.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody in Titan Nation is so head up their ass about, what's going on with the Daily Sins. Is the Daily Sins going to work together and stuff like? But y'all got to really understand what is the real question out here. Is TKO and Ken Powers, are they going to separate? Is that good for them? I mean, y'all putting them against us, and y'all know that they have lost. Not once, not twice, but twice.
Also, what mental state are they coming in? Because unfortunately, as it happened at Guerrilla Warfare, we saw Samira get attacked by Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone. So what mental state are they walking in? Are they on the same page here? Are they, what wavelength are they walking in?
Listen, it's all good. Not to disrespect Samara. I love Samara. Samara's she's a good interviewer. I love her work. Her work is outstanding. But you wanted to put her as a manager, fine, good, whatever the case may be. But you got to understand, managers had to do what they have to do. Apparently, she can't do what she had to do because apparently y'all have to save her every 6 ways of Sunday. As a yet again, how many times? I mean, what me and Blockz would have did to Samara, oh my gosh, she would have had concussion. I don't even think she wanted to be in wrestling ever again. What did Anthony Gangone did to her? Oh my God, fingers in the mouth. I mean, she should have went to the dentist and get that checked out because you don't know what type of STDs that he had in his fingers. But what I'm saying is, the point blank is, there's no issues with the Daily Sins. And when Savage Attention happens, you will know the true colors between, the Daily Sins and social influence.
Got you. Understood. Understood. We're gonna go to the comments here because I'm gonna regret putting up these comments, but I guess we got my brothers from the Knucklehead Network. We got Toast saying we need Ray to get put through a table. No, I need to stay safely at my commentary table. And we got my brother Kenny asking how much to put Ray through a table.
Oh man.
Oh, we can.
He then says, "Why is there a price? I got $500 if somebody can." Whoa, oil up Ray and put him through a table.
Whoa.
That was a little questionable with the first one.
That's something that we don't do. If you want to ask that question, how much right there, you need to talk to P. Diddy himself. He does that right there. He's the
I
one
would
that
like to
has
stay
thousands of
safe.
baby oil and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay safe at my commentary desk and keep doing this.
Take
Yeah,
that.
no.
Take that.
Oh, we got the good brother Josh Alba in the chat saying Blockz. Oh, Blockz, he did tell me to let you know to shout out to you because apparently I went to school together. So shout out to
Yeah,
Josh Alba.
we went to elementary, junior high school, and middle school together. Me and Josh, great dude. One of the funniest people that I've ever come across. I mean, this absolutely, career was just a given. The dude is just literally probably one of the guys I've ever met. I've known for a long time. And we both fell in love with that. And when we both wrestling, just that's like the world, like the rest of the community. That's what brings you together. You know what I mean? Even more so. So it's great to see him now transitioning into commentary booths at some promotions. Great. Backstage correspondence at others. He's doing his thing. Major props to him, and I'm glad that he's a part of the world of which we all love and why we're doing this.
Definitely, again, can't wait. I'll be calling the show with Josh very soon. So stay tuned to that. Me and him will be calling the show in a few weeks as well. So shout out to Josh, man. But no, again, like I said, I wanted to have you guys on. I wanted to clear some things up. I feel like the Titan Nation can now walk into Savage Intentions with a clearer head. I feel like they can now understand everything is fine. We're going into Savage Intentions with a united Deadly Sins here, and we will see that championship match on October the 12th.
And not only titles, we're gonna keep being the longest reigning tag team titles, and to top it all off, to put the cherry on top, we're going to get rid of social influence. Disband them, get them away from each other. We're doing Ken Powers a favor and showing him, like we tried to do with Daniel Riley a long time ago, that he is the better one of the group. So, Ken, just know, when the ref's hand hits 3, when our hands are raised, we did this for your own good. When the wrecking ball goes to the wall, the mighty wrecking ball knows itself. You're the better one.
I mean, let's put it out there. I mean, like Ken Powers, how many belts have you won? How many belts that TKO won? You know, let's just put it out there. I mean,
Right?
TKO and Ken Powers. Like, I understand. I like this group that y'all have, but then at the end of the day, like Ken Powers, you have to really think by yourself. You really did the most damage to everybody that you came across with. I never seen, not once, seen TKO did the most damage. And that should tell you something. That's just me. That's just my thoughts. Just my experience in wrestling, in professional wrestling. Um,
There you go. That's Frankie bring a little bit of that journalistic approach to it. See that it's rubbing off on you, Frankie. It's rubbing off. We're
And
just pointing things out there. That's all.
exactly.
That's all it is.
Ken Powers was the longest reigning Mob 5 American TV champion. The longest. And once he decided to go along with this little social influence, social experiment, I like to call, he's been the laughing stock of the roster. The
Listen,
man isn't one damn thing. They need a
listen.
tag team that's not a tag team to get these title shots.
Let's put it like this. I mean, TKO. Now, just for real. If you think that what we're saying is irrelevant and it's wrong or anything else, then prove it. Prove it that you're better than Ken Powers,
I don't see.
or you just still going to still live under Ken Powers' shadow. I mean, if you want to be the Marty Jannetty out the tag team, then by all means, be all is good. But if you want to prove yourself, and you know that you have a saying that you're relevant, that you want to be something, then TKO prove it. You know, not just prove it to us, and prove it to Ken Powers, because Ken Powers is basically the one. I'm surprised that his shoulder is not hurting for carrying the team. I mean, I definitely would like to draft him into the Eagles or to the New York Giants and stuff like that, because he's carrying the team.
I agree.
But that's just my theory.
Well then, for TKO that is in the chat, I'll extend the invitation here. If you and Ken Powers would like to come on and rebuttal again everything that's been said here, an invitation is there for Respect the Craft. We can fix this next week. If you guys would like to come on before Savage Intentions, the gauntlet is thrown. Come speak and we can have this conversation here. Because again, we want to hear both sides. We want to hear what is going on as we're getting ready for Savage Intentions. But gentlemen, I don't want to take up too much more of your time because again, you guys are busy. You guys are the champs. I want to remind everyone to go follow your current reigning and defending TCW Tag Team Champions on all of their social media right there. Links will also be in the description down below. But go follow Blockz on his Instagram right there. Make sure you follow Frankie on his Instagram right there. Follow Frankie on his X right there. As well as go follow TCW on all of their social media right there. As well as to get your tickets for Savage Intentions will be right there. All of that is going to be in the link in the description down below.
And
be there.
Before we end it, I know we're wrapping up. I have a question since TKO is in the chat, and maybe you could relay this next week. TKO, what are you gonna do when you are not the tag team champions and you and Ken must end? Where does that leave you? We know where it leaves. Where does it leave you? We know where it leaves Samira. But you, my friend, are the odd man out. You are the one who's trying to make yourself. You are the one whose win-loss record is atrocious. You are the one who's taking Ken Powers 5 steps back. So what are you going to do when you're no longer got Ken Powers there to hold your hand, babysit you, and show you the way?
Oh, that's right. Ken Powers can hold his own. So he has a job. But Samira actually has a job of, she's a good interviewer. So, oh my gosh, she's like, TKO, I can't think of anything that's worthwhile for TKO. You're right, Blockz.
I think that's something we can agree on.
Yeah. He's good at doing Spider-Man stuff.
I'm just gonna remind everyone again, be there October the 12th, Saturday night. We return to the Hoboken Elks Lodge, Savage Intentions, a Halloween horror night. And remember, everyone is entitled to one good scare. I will see you guys on the next one. As always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. I will see you guys. Peace, everybody.